Random thought, I cover up this logo for these videos because they ain't paying me. No free advertising. Incognito. Check, check. All right, what's up, y'all? We are back in the box, and as you can see, this is a mostly empty studio, radically different than what it's looked like over the course of the last few weeks because I finally started adding art to the BMO space. It's felt good to pack the van up and get this show ready to display to the world and the people who are into my art, and this group of lawyers who are gonna invite their clients and their social circle and allow me, oh, let me take these off so it's a little more personal, and allow me to create, you know, a moment for them and their clientele. But in the process of setting up this art and being connected to this art, I've been thinking a lot about my personal path and the difference between choosing commercial art and creating what the client wants, and maybe creating something that doesn't speak your soul as much versus creating something that actually is of you, that is very little input from the client. And that's exactly where I'm at right now, is trying to find that balance of creating something that I believe that a potential client would want to hang on their wall or put in their corporate office, but also speaking my language and actually saying what I want to say and actually speaking from my heart. And so today I kind of want to just kind of break down where I'm at and show some examples of my older work and talk a bit about my current work and kind of explain the thought process behind how I'm deciding to play that spectrum, because it is a spectrum. On this side, you've got, here, we'll go in the middle so I can create some sort of info thing. So on this side, you've got the client having direction on what you're creating, public art that you apply for or work that you actually seek out, murals and art that, you know, let's say there's a client that wants a dog jumping over a fence, the people creating that. And then you have this area that I want to be in, which is more expression, maybe abstract, the actual soul, the blood of the body speaking, the inner thoughts, the distillation of the human experience put onto canvas or in some sort of digestible form. But then in the middle, which is where I'm trying to find a happy medium, you have art that is true and an expression that is deeply you, but also pieces that are tangible, that something that's soft and gentle that someone would actually want to look at over the years, you know, over and over again and share with their friends. Maybe something that's less intense and a little bit softer. I'm gonna go make a matcha and we'll talk about it when I get back. All right, we back. How's she look? Foamy? Anyway, okay, so let's talk about it. There is a ton of work and a ton of success and a ton of money for artists who are willing to do whatever the client wants. So there are a billion companies, small mom and pop businesses that have buildings that they want art inside or specifically murals for, corporations who are looking for their logo to be recreated in some sort of an artist collaboration. That stuff is everywhere, and there's a gajillion examples of it, right? I see so many artists in my area doing exactly that. The client says, I want a frog in a jungle setting. And that artist may have an expression, they may have something that they want to say through art, but because of scarcity mindset or whatever it is, they just take the bag and they run with it and they just create whatever the client wants. I don't see a lot of risk taking in this area. The Phoenix art market, again, this is just my opinion, so hear me out. It's not alive, it's not screaming, it's not reaching its arms internationally with a buzz of things that are happening here. And that is all of our fault. It's not the artist's fault, it's not the corporations with the funds to be able to fund artists, it's everyone's fault. I've had this idea that this area, this market needs about 5 to 10 premier artists who are not taking the low-hanging fruit, who are not in scarcity mindset, but that are creating big, earth-shaking, genre-bending, very loud art that really captures people's attention. Things that make people uncomfortable, things that really make you raise your eyebrows, you know? Things that really last with people. Let's be honest, like a portrait of another, excuse my language, another desert landscape, another desert sunset, another depiction of the desert is not gonna do it. It's 100% definitely not gonna do it. And so I think that it's on everybody to push this energy forward if we want more eyeballs internationally on art. And so I imagine more artists saying no to these type of really simple, basic gigs. And then what'll happen is, yes, there will be a period where there's gonna be some real starving artists, right? But it just takes time to germinate. Things take time to change the minds of these corporations. And these corporations need to shut up and just choose artists and just say, look, I have this space. I want you to put art in there. What do you want to do? No input from me. Can you kind of lean towards this color scheme? Can you either create something soft or hard? Give them really simple guidance. But I think that that's how you encourage artists to do what they do best, which is drum up emotions inside people through viewing what they're creating. So I've seen this thing happening, and I do my best to not whine and complain. I do my best to just show up and just do the thing that I'm saying is missing. And so that's exactly where I'm at with this current expression. I had a thing that was working. I'll pop up a video here. I had a thing that was working great. Towards the end, it just started to feel like it wasn't me. I'm not telling my story. For Christ's sake, I'm 43, I'll be 43 years old in a few days. When am I gonna tell my story? When am I gonna trust that I can create something that really scrapes the silt on the bottom of people's emotional cup, and makes that shit rise to the surface? So this path is fraught with some anxiety and fear, and even battling through my own scarcity mindset. And it's so unknown. It's like walking through a forest that's completely filled with fog, and you can't see more than 4 inches in front of your face, but you have to keep walking. And like they say, whatever you believe, you can achieve. Whatever you perceive, you can create. And I know that I have to keep walking. So to create this, look, a rising tide floats all ships. To create this dynamic energy that I would love to see in my town, I'm gonna go ahead and just commit and do this thing. And boy, it's definitely a weird feeling, letting go of something that felt secure, but wasn't speaking, not allowing my heart to talk. This is the most thing of art, right? Of doing like true soul-breaching art. Imagine this. Imagine you have a dream for the world. Imagine you have a dream the night before, or you have a feeling about your family. You're gonna illustrate that, and you're gonna put that on some sort of substrate, and you're gonna ask people to pay you for your dreams, for your pain, for your life force, for your thoughts. Just picture that. You're going to ask people to pay you for your thoughts. That's not in our DNA. In our DNA is to hunt, to gather, to provide, I'm gonna edit that out, to procreate, to make more of ourselves. This is all new, so this is not in our DNA. This is a really wacky space to be in, but man, it's so exciting. I can't think of a better way to spend my life than pushing through this weird thing. And whatever, I could have went to school. My school is the real world. My school is reaching out to people and just asking them, like, how did you do it? And taking tidbits of information from each path, and then figuring out, taking tidbits of information from each person who's, working through it themselves, or maybe has more experience than I, and then applying it to my own practice. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with this show. If any of you are struggling with the trust that it takes to believe in yourself enough to create something that is truly your soul, just understand that there are people out there who are fighting the good fight and who are in the exact same boat as you. And the more people that move in the way of pushing back on corporate control of art and demanding the full trust of these organizations and saying no, that's the biggest thing, is saying no and having abundance mindset. It's gonna take a little bit, but you can change the entire spectrum of what's happening in your immediate vicinity. And so that's what I'm committed to doing. And so this empty studio is exciting because that means that this art is getting out there, and I'm ready. I'm ready to see what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? The show is almost completely hung. Here, I'll show you some stuff I'm working on here. Okay, so these are pieces that are gonna be hung up on a wall in an installation. And look, I'm not expecting anybody wanting to purchase this and put it in their home, but I still have to get this shit out. And don't get it twisted. There are pieces in this show that I have crafted that I'm sure are more in the wave of, something that somebody would want in their home, but not all of it. 50% of it is hideous, and it's real, and it's honest. And god dang it, that feels good. All right, so check this out. This is what the installation is gonna look like. So those lines are basically the cords that will be used to hang, and then each of those pieces represents one of those boards. So, this specific installation is pure expression. I don't even know if I'm gonna have prices on this part of the exhibition, but it's just important to get this stuff out. Super, super, super important to get it out. Push through, believe, achieve, and receive. So I guess that's my whole point. Artists, your task is to say no more to a company who's trying to control your expression, and say yes to organizations who ask you what you want to do, who are encouraging your deepest, fullest, truest expression. And to all of my corporate friends and corporate connections who are watching these videos, y'all gotta help us. When you guys are buying art from these artists, you're investing in them. You're investing potentially thousands of dollars into a piece of art. Don't you wanna see the value go up? Then stop trying to get them to draw a wolf. Stop trying to get them to draw a cactus. Stop trying to get them to draw a tree. Invest in them, like actually them. Don't try to control the art, because then that's your art. Then they become your hands and you're the mind. Let them speak, let them do their thing, and you're gonna see the values of those pieces rise. It's no one's fault, but somebody's gotta think about these things, and somebody's gotta express them, get them out into the world, and drive this thing forward. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I love y'all. Appreciate you for listening, and that's it. Bye-bye.